Hello and welcome to Channel's Book Club. I am Olakunle Kasumo. Let's get a bit legal today. There is an aspect of law that is not very popular in Nigeria, at least in terms of it being taken as an area of specialization by lawyers. I'm referring to construction law. It's a bit rare to find lawyers who are focused on this area of the legal profession. But our guest today, Ewuwuni Onnoghen Theophilus, is a young legal practitioner who has firmly set her sights on this field of law. Ewuwuni is the daughter of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, the Honorable Justice Walter S.N. Onnoghen. She is a barrister and solicitor of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. Ewuwuni has written this book titled Construction Law in Nigeria, and she joins us to review it. Enjoy this. Ewuwuni, nice to have you on Channel's Book Club.
Thank you for inviting me.
And congrats on your book, Construction Law in Nigeria. What inspired this book?
I noticed there was no book like this in the Nigerian construction legal sphere. I went for my master's in construction law, and I got to know about different textbooks and used different foreign textbooks in my research. But when I got back to Nigeria, there was nothing about our laws governing our construction sector. So I decided to write it, and I was advised to write it by my dad. My dad encouraged me to write it, saying that there was actually a need for it. Also, people came to me, can I borrow your notebook from your master's classes? And can you explain this to me? Can you explain that to me? So I saw there was a need to do that, to write a book, because it's a developing area of law in Nigeria. It's established in other jurisdictions. In South Africa, they have a very vibrant construction law practice there, and in the UK, in Scotland, it's very, very well known as developed and established like as a oil and gas law in Nigeria, a maritime law, but it's just coming up in Nigeria.
Now, it's interesting. It's really detailed. What you have here is quite detailed. Overview of the Nigerian construction industry, sources of construction law in Nigeria. I can see here you went through the Land Use Acts, 1978, the Urban and Regional Planning Act, 1992, the National Building Code, 2006, Builders Registration Act, 1989, Trade Unions, Factories Act, Employees Compensation. Then in Chapter 3, Context of a Construction Project. And then Chapter 4, Construction Contracts in Nigeria. And then you went through various aspects of a good contract. So you really went through almost every aspect of construction law.
Yes, the aspects of a construction project, yes.
That was your intention, right?
Yes, it was. There's still room for improvement. I can say that myself. There's still room for improvement. And I'm working on the second edition to also include the recent changes and developments in the construction sector. For instance, the FIDIC has published a new set of standard forms of contracts published in 2017. So my second edition is going to capture all those new developments in the construction sector. But it's a book that would guide anybody that wants to go into any construction project from start to finish about the laws that you would encounter, what would guide you in respect of, so that you don't run foul of the law in governing the Nigerian construction sector.
From your work experiences and also the experience of writing this book, I'm sure you would have observed how ignorant or otherwise we are in Nigeria when it comes to construction laws and also issues of construction in the country. Tell me a bit about that.
Yes, I did, and the knowledge gap is quite wide for the layman and even some professionals and even some lawyers. Some of them say, is there construction law? There is, it's there, and I advise people to, especially people that get involved in construction projects often to get themselves educated with even a fundamental knowledge of any construction, of the construction laws before you go into any project. Know what is expected of the contractor, his duties and obligations. Some people go into construction without even an agreement, without signing a contract. So it's very sad, and it happens a lot. And some contractors just sign any contract that is given to them by the owner of the project, by it's called the employer, and you find out that you cannot. There are clauses there that are not favorable to you. And then also this is prevalent in Nigeria. When the employer may not pay the contractors. You have incidences of delayed payments and failure to even pay for a project. The contractor cannot enforce his right to sue, for instance, the government for breach of contract. I heard in Ghana, you're supposed to even submit your litigation profile, so they'll get to see how many times you've sued the government, for instance, before before they award the contract to you. So if you're someone that is used to suing the government to enforce any rights under the contract, they'll be like, this person is a cantankerous person, and then we would rather go with the next contractor. So that fear of losing contracts and jobs is there in the minds of contractors, and they would just rather waive their rights to enforce the terms of the contract.
What's the biggest challenge you faced while putting this together?
Resources. It was very difficult because this is the first book. There were research materials. I had to rely a lot on foreign textbooks. I had to do my research of legal and law cases. I had to read through law cases, comb through law of contract cases in order to see where construction cases came up and how Nigerian law, the Nigerian courts interpreted the principle, the clauses of the construction contract. The lack of resources, research materials was a very huge challenge to me when I was writing the book.
This is your first published book, right?
Correct, sir.
I've been told many times that first published work is always very exciting. Tell me a bit about that.
It's exciting. It's exciting. And when I get reviews and messages from people how the book has helped them, it really gladdens my heart. A construction project manager, an architect and a quantity surveyor told me that he read my book for his RICS exams and it helped him pass the exams. It made my day, my career, everything, that somebody found it useful. And I usually attend a seminar on construction law in Ghana, and